Drafting phase has already begun. Let's jump right into it as Smart Omega take the blue side. First pick against Bigatron Alpha on the red side.
I wonder if the team cam for Smart Omega is like the CCTV in the room.
That's what I was thinking, right? It's either they got like a webcam up there somehow where the CCTV hole used to be, or it's just their actual CCTV. Because for Bigatron Alpha, I think they went with the smart play of using a terrible webcam just to make sure that Super Ken's feed don't get leaked and rated on WikiFeed.
Yeah, especially, you know, the match results, right? You know, you don't want that to get leaked. You can't see the phone because there's so much glare.
Maybe they gotta contact DHL to get something new for them. But in the meantime, it looks like in terms of the bans, we're seeing the Harith and the Lo Yi getting knocked out of the park on red side.
Man, Bigatron Alpha not even giving Smart Omega the luxury. So we're going back to Moskov. At least Joam gets to play a marksman.
Yeah, the classics. The classics. It does mean that Iman has an opportunity to actually show off for himself on this Roger if he wants to try and dominate this lane. But hopefully, at least for Bigatron Alpha, they can play around his lane to have that extra little bit of support. Because we've seen many, many times where, like, oh, you're up against, it's Roger versus the Moskov. Roger is just one trade away from completely destroying the lane, and then the support show up.
Yeah. It's either that or you go for the usual Fredrin, right? You go for the Fredrin opener, and then you could pivot into the Natan if you want.
If they want to get like real spicy, they can go for like Roger Baratz just to have a flex pick ready to go.
Yes, that as well. Well, even spicier, they go for Matilda Terizla.
Wow, what a hard read. I mean, at this point, Ryota can just play X-Borg if he wants to at this point, right? Plenty of peel. They can play a composition that peels backwards against a comp that wants to engage a little bit harder. The Matilda is a little annoying, though, and I think that Bigatron Alpha recognized that, hey, if we are going to set up for this Roger, at the very least, let's have a Matilda to help skew the lane in his favor, maybe between level 1s and 2, or maybe even like 3 to 4.
So it's going to be a Farmist Fredrin. They're keeping it simple, keeping it clean, keeping it vanilla for Smart Omega. So that's the case. Valentina's still up, right?
Yeah.
So Bigatron Alpha can consider that.
I do quite like the Valentina, but then again, kind of straying away from the plan, right? So Bigatron Alpha now put in a bit of a dilemma here. If they go for their gold laner, they're going to lose out on Valentina. So the real question is, how important is this Nether Realm? Don't have the Fredrin's Appraiser's Wrath to kind of break the Netherrealm, to be fair. There are other ways of doing it as well, and the Terizla, honestly, was a pretty good read, and now they have another layer of AoE to crack through the temp HP.
And they don't have to worry about the Valentina getting banned out as much. In fact, I think the bigger problem could be a potential Novaria pick on the side for the side of Bigatron Alpha. Now that the Terizla is in the pool and the Claude, you can start banning out the Grok first, to make sure that there's minimal peel from Smart Omega.
Yeah, I think Omega at this point of time, you're getting rid of the classics, right? You're thinking about Vexana, you're thinking about possibly getting rid of the Kadita too, but at this stage of the game, it's like, do I really want to risk it? Because at this point, if Farmus decides, if Ukir decides to take Purify, then it doesn't really matter. He's going to get that Nether Realm off whether he likes it or not.
Yeah. I think the Kadita probably not the main concern for them.
It's Valentina and Vexana,
I suppose, yeah.
I think that Vexana could be swapped out for Novaria either, or the Valentina is probably higher in priority.
Okay, so Vexana goes first. You take out those big crowd controls, and of course you want that Faramis already has good lane prio, but you want it to be slightly better. Considering the fact that there's a Matilda on the other team. So Minotaur will be the choice for Bigatron Alpha.
Yeah, I think this is an Edith angle for Smart Omega. But I think they need to get rid of the Valentina at the very least, because Matilda is not that great at quote-unquote pushing waves, and if you have the Edith, you have that Earth Shatter. You don't necessarily need to have the Concussive Blast as well, but that's totally fine, right? Clear out that waves, move fast, rotate quick. Yep, get rid. Oh wait, hold on. Valentina is still up in the air then.
So they are willing to let the Valentina through. Unless Lilia comes out from Bigatron Alpha.
I suppose, but I don't think there's much reason to do it unless they... I would say even a Farsa might be a better option, because even if you have the temp HP, you could chunk out and force out the Netherrealm early on from Ukir with the artillery range.
So let's see. Here they are still lacking that jungler. I mean, Baratz and Baxia both are still out. Even the Akai, right?
I think Akai is great, right?
So they take the first out first, okay.
Nice, nice. Is this an alpha angle? Is this an alpha angle for Super Ken?
I might as well pick Ling, you know?
I honestly, I think Ling is not a bad option because with an assassin, you can force Ukir to use Netherrealm as well.
Makes life tough for the Moskov also, right? If he decides to join the fight. And they have the last pick for the jungler, which is pretty rare nowadays for a jungler role to get the last pick.
Yeah, which begs the question, do we get to see the Fanny? Do we get to see the Ling? Which one are we going to get this time? CC? Edith? Ooh, I don't know if we're going to see an assassin now.
Probably not.
Right?
Go back to Barats, I suppose.
I think it's an Akai.
Yeah.
There's just too many things that you need to kind of like peel for.
Oh,
X-Borg works too.
It works too. AoE damage, good peel. Don't really want to get on top of him.
Yeah, and it's hard to break the Faraga armor as the CC because you already have to deal with the Terizla. And you're just not going to have as much wave clear. Okay, I respect it. Interesting angle from Bigatron Alpha.
Life's going to be tough for the Faramis. I mean, even for the Fredrin, it's going to be tough. Direct jungle matchup, there's really nothing much you can do, right? Can't really stick onto the X-Borg and with the Matilda in tow, it solves the X-Borg problem of trying to catch up to you. So this game too, draft-wise, I think it's looking pretty good for Bigatron Alpha. Yeah,
I think a lot is resting on Joam's shoulders to try and win out that lane, but more importantly, scale like 10 times faster in this game compared to Iman. And they both will have the same item, like gold threshold to hit to make sure they finish off the Trinity build. So again, it's not much difference. It's about pacing.
I mean, Smart Omega, they have a lot of single target spells, but for Bigatron Alpha, if they catch you clumped up, that penalty zone is going to spell doom. So we'll see Smart Omega can pull this to a game number 3. It's game 2, Bigatron Alpha on that red side, Smart Omega on Zoo.
All right, let's see how they're going to be starting on the top side of the map. They're going to end up towards the EXP side. It makes sense. Key, if he can get like an early retribution from Andoryu, that means Super can start walking up.
He's definitely going to force it out. Yep. So Andoryu has to use his retry, but thankfully, you know, the clear speed almost the same. I think the difference is going to start becoming apparent after Super can get this purple buff. Chanu can't really walk up to him.
I mean, Chakru is nearby to kind of speed this up, and Little Wanderer falls into the hands of Smart Omega. Super can technically contest if he knows. Yeah, I mean, Key has already communicated he's using Red Tree. He knows it's coming up in about 7 seconds.
Red Tree that way. Super can will lose the Faraga armor first. Easily start peeling back. Key gets out.
Yep, and this is the beauty of X-Borg as well as Matilda. They're allowed to poke and prod at Smart Omega, and Omega have to respond by using their bodies to say, hey, we have enough damage to kill threat you. You got to be able to get out of here. And with that guiding wind, it makes it so easy, even if Super Ken doesn't actually have his Faraga armor.
So he is finally going to get the orange buff, but in terms of experience, I believe he is going to be slightly behind Super Ken. He's showing on bot side. This matchup as well, Ryota, he wants to freeze the wave closer to his turret.
Man.
The pool, guiding wind to get out again.
Super early rotation coming out from the side of Smart Omega. They technically could have gotten a proxy here if they wanted to rush level 4, but they opted not to do it. I think at this point, it's about the mid lane, and they also want to make sure that Jaknu hits 4 as well at the same time.
Yeah, Super Ken slightly ahead of him. They were able to zone Lord JM out prior to this wave. So Lord JM will need to just be patient to hit that level 4. Moreno, wings by wings forwards to find Andoryu, pushes him away. But fighting into an X-Borg jungle, not that easy. The airstrike used very early on. Bigatron Alpha starting to walk forward. Lord JM on the side with the penalty zone in tow if they need it. Earth Shatter does miss. And this is a good angle for Bigatron Alpha to make a play. Lord JM tries to go for the penalty zone, cancel for the first time, but now connects. The Netherrealm is going to protect him from the last Sandy, but not fully though. And Andoryu still ends up going down to the explosion. Turtle for Bigatron Alpha and a kill.
They really took their time with that one. They took way too much time, in a matter of fact. It felt like Smart Omega was trying to get into that backline, but never saw the opportunity because Bigatron Alpha was making sure that Andoryu did not have the space or a clean way to get on top of Moreno. I think at this point, Andoryu should have just given up the Lord at that point if he's not finding these angles, especially since they don't necessarily need to commit these ults unless they find that advantage, or at the very least catch somebody from Bigatron Alpha out of position.
Even Emman is ahead of Joam. Somehow.
Hey, he's winning out in this lane, I suppose. I think he's just gotten more river crabs, unfortunately.
We'll see Bigatron slight goal advantage. This has spelled a bit of problem for Smart Omega, seeing that previous fight could have gone so much uglier, but Moreno was brought up to the top side. They want Joem dead for the airstrike. Two connecting. That means more gold plating for Eman, potentially.
They do spot Chaknu rotating up towards this top side. Bigatron and Alpha just want to create this lane advantage for Eman. If one of them has to take an early recall here, they're going to lose quite a bit of gold plating.
Yeah, I know you just see the guiding wind, but there's a circling eagle. He just repositions.
Wow.
So hard to catch.
He's hard to catch, but on the top side, Joem using that Spirit of Destruction to cancel Eman's recall, right? And now look at this level lead.
And this should be a kill. Won't put Purify into a BMI. Yeah, Eman set that up prior, like way before.
Wait, do they not want to like deny? Oh, there's not enough of a wave to take full advantage of this. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. Smart Omega, they back up here. I was thinking whether they wanted a proxy to stop Key or even Eman from actually regrouping underneath the tier 1 to try and catch and soak up the EXP in gold.
Bit of a salvage, and Key will assist Eman to get back into the lane faster. Second turtle up. That Super Ken, I believe he is 2 levels ahead of Andoryu. This should be an easy objective for Bigatron Alpha.
Well, we say that, but then again, looks like Smart Omega realized they don't exactly have a lot of position. They could try and force something here, but fortunately with Lord JM so nearby, that penalty zone is quite the threat.
Not just that, the extra AoE damage. I mean, Smart Omega, they need a bit more time.
Oh.
Andoryu is putting on some pressure, but Terizla doesn't really care too much.
This is a good play coming in from Smart Omega. The macro-wise, they knew that they had a way to actually make sure... Oh, he won't take this, will he? Yeah. He does!
Well, he actually takes it. It's just Eman. And that's a flicker from Key.
Whoa, fast! Smart Omega, fast on the draw. Now they want the top tier 1 on the top side as well, right? We see that Super Ken is on the bottom side to maybe look for a trade, but this could be bad.
Yeah, Eman, he's going to be stuck on by Ryota, using Blazing Duet to get the shield. The Vengeance used, but Eman able to get away. Key does go down for the airstrike, even committed by Moreno, but the damage is just not enough.
Not enough at all. And now Smart Omega, they have to start backing up here. Speaking of which, speaking of backing up, it looks like Super Ken has found Andoryu in the jungle.
So Bigatron Alpha at least able to get some sort of recovery. Moreno taunt underneath his turret. Lord JM in a rough spot. Pull back. Penalty zone missing Ryota, so he flickers. The Key to the rescue.
Super Ken finally getting back into the middle of this fight. Looks like he set it up well, make sure that all the battle lines were focused on the opposite side of the map, and they do get a trade of the tier 1 down bot. Gold lead is so dead even between both of these teams. They're not getting too much, but you can see how proactive they are. And also the way that they respond to each other's movements.
Key's just walking up. See Bigatron Alpha not really amping up the pressure, not putting pedal on the gas to go for invade. But at least Super Ken is constantly 3 levels ahead, 2 levels ahead of Andoryu.
Then the same argument can be made about Smart Omega. Joem is at least 1,000 gold ahead of this quad so far. Already has the golden staff in these fights. He's going to be able to pump out more damage for now, but we're waiting until whoever gets that Winds of Nature first. It's so important to have in this match.
Something Ego. He's very early. Smart Omega trying to break the frag armor. Super Ken Spirit of Destruction completely misses. This goes in between of everyone from Bigatron Alpha. For the airstrike right now, the juggling of skills from Bigatron Alpha, even pulled in by the guiding wind just to land an extra shot onto Chaknu. Bigatron Alpha now have an angle to go for an engage. Praise was grab used. Timing was perfect. Smart Omega gets the turtle and a penalty zone, big one on the 4th, followed by the last Sandy, only getting the Edith. And that's not enough. Bigatron Alpha would need a lot more than just that, but that's all that they would get.
Joem is in the fight finally. Eman was actively trading against Joem along the bottom side river just to slow him down on the rotate because he missed the Spear of Destruction. That being said, Bigatron is going to be walking away with 1 extra kill in the pocket, 7 minutes 53 seconds into this game.
Still dead even. Bigatron Alpha wants some damage on the mid tier 1.
Momentum is falling in their favor. At the very least, BTR is really good at the siege.
Okay, Spear of Destruction connects. Or JM again pulled out by the guiding wind. Status, the insurance is the feather airstrike. So all things considered, I mean, Smart Omega And well, both teams only losing that bottom tier 1, with Bigatron Alpha losing his top tier 1 also.
I mean, very, very slightly for Smart Omega, but Bigatron Alpha just keeping up the pace with them, right? They're a composition that, like, if they want to make a proactive play, a certain condition needs to be met, and it needs to be the right targets. In this case, Ukir or even Joam. Taking out, like, the jungler Andoryu or even Chakdu would be ideal as well, but that's assuming that Smart Omega aren't corralled around these two.
Lord JM and Moreno have been doing a great job just keeping Smart Omega in check. First item, Blood Wings for the Farsa. Should be going towards the NOD. Next, either that or a Lightning Truncheon.
These movements coming in from Bigatron Alpha, they have the 4-in-1 setup going, but the one is Super Ken. They know that he can actually tank a lot of the damage and actually wins out a majority of the side laners as well. Does net another turret for the team with his momentum, and I think that Bigatron Alpha at this point of time, I'm looking at the Moreno's item specifically. First item, Blood Wings this time.
Yeah, even for Super Ken, I think he's probably going for the Oracle. Yep, just got it. Just to make use of the Guiding Wind Shield. And, I mean, he's doing so much damage.
He's so far ahead. 2 levels against Andoryu at this point of time. Making these neutral objectives, the longer it goes, the worse it gets for Smart Omega.
Bigatron Alpha not coming to it. Going to rush this, but they know that they can always have priority over the Lord. It's not that easy for Smart Omega to walk up. Andoryu showed himself already.
They're going to deal with the mid-wave. They always have to deal with the mid-wave, right? Both teams don't want mid-tier 1 to actually collapse because then it gives free access into their own jungles. So far, with this like 3-level lead coming in from Super Ken, I think the rest of Bigatron Alpha want this tier 1 a little bit more than the Lord.
Emman is eating good. He had to flicker to safety, and this Lord is going to be crucial. It's going to be secured by Joam. As vengeance used by Ryota, Bigatron Alpha would take this fight. Super Ken still has a fragile armor, but Joam takes Spirit Destruction to the back, and it goes first to splash from Ukil to kill off the Farsa. Claude gets one back. Lord JM just hammers Joam into the grave, and Bigatron Alpha barely wins the fight, and they find Andoryu on the side as well.
That was so close. I mean, Bigatron Alpha would have been... He's live, right?
The brace by Hugh! Festival of Blood!
One more time!
Body of a Smith! They're just gonna get everyone! Ukyo needs to get away with the Shadow Stampede. He's on the chase, brings Lord JM. Does not land the execution strike, but movement speed, Ukyo. Eat the hammer, boy!
Finally goes down. The Lord had already spawned in Bigatron Alpha. Now need to do some homework and clean up these waves. The house chores aren't going to get done by themselves.
Well, they have nullified the Lord advantage for Smart Omega, that is for sure. Super Ken should be able to hold on this Lord all on his own. Biggest difference maker, Lord JM. What a crucial kill.
What a crucial... Oh!
Wow, they're committing everything. Chadwick's dead. Maybe not. Penalty zone by Lord JM already. That's NetherRealm used. Good energy eruption on during the flicker into Shadow Stampede. And a turnaround. Fragile armor does explode, but Smart Omega finding a kill onto Key.
Man, Bigatron Alpha as of right now are not utilizing Super Ken that well, right? Despite the 4-in-1 setup they actually have going, they do actually need Super Ken to be a part of that front line to make sure that Andoryu or even Ryota can't just walk up willy-nilly.
Thank goodness Super Ken just got his Fragile armor back by Ryota. He's not getting out of this one. Even committing his vengeance last sanity from Super Ken cannot find a viable target now. Chooses to fall back. Or JN does have Andoryu in the sight. Emman on the chase. Andoryu turns it around. Spirit Destruction connects Emman. Able to BMI to safety, but Joam takes his ultimate anyways. And Joam now finds himself in the midst of battle, but takes down Key regardless. Changnu will be just shot down by Emman with the help of Super Ken. But Joam continues to fight through the pain. Fights the fingers on top of Moreno for the double kill. And it's just Super Ken 11. Joam will continue on his rampage. And Smart Omega have found a huge opening.
And that's the equalizer. Super Ken, he's got to clear these waves up. Throw your body in there.
Let's see a red tree. I don't think he is. Joam is just going to go for the end. And Smart Omega finds the equalizer.
And they squeeze through such a small window of opportunity, and Joel makes the super play against Moreno. Victory as we see Smart Omega equalize.